Peace. Welcome to your original and action exclusive interview series. This is another episode live and direct. The year is 2010 on a Gregorian calendar. I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself, Queen Great Mind.
Yeah, hi. Sophia Stewart, mother of the Matrix, the writer of the Matrix and the Terminator movies. Glad to be here today for this interview.
Yes, glad to have you here. Welcome to Original Thought. Enjoy spending time with you, Great Mind.
It's like you're fighting with yourself. And I know you were totally amazed because no one has ever explained this to you, have they?
No, not in the fashion like that. Of course not. Indeed.
Yeah, and surprised by all of this knowledge of the work, aren't you?
Absolutely. That's the culture that I deal with. Exactly when you was going through 1 through 9, that's dealing with going from knowledge to born. Everything had to do that 360, that complete cycle. That's deep. That's being in tune with the universe. So when did you realize that your God and your true and living, God talents that you were given were on such a level that you needed to, share it with the rest of the planet? When did you know that?
Well, I knew when I was in the 7th grade, but I always knew before the 7th grade that I had this phenomenal gift because I was doing taxes when I was 11 years old. I was making money doing adults' taxes, and then they couldn't even understand what taxes were or how to do them, which was very simple for me. It was elementary, but I'm thinking that other people are the same as myself, that all of the stuff that I'm doing is quite simple and easy. I didn't realize that it was very difficult, or that the knowledge that I'm expounding on is mathematics, that God's language or the Bible is actually broken into mathematics, that God speaks in sacred ancient geometry, that it's all numbers, that our whole globe, our whole world is numbers. And if you don't understand math, then you cannot create, and you cannot understand the universal laws, and you can't understand what's going on with you here in the Matrix. Matrix is simply mean hidden in the womb, that you're hidden in a womb or a system, and you cannot govern that system or beat that system if you don't understand math. And since I had a natural gift in math, I already had knowledge, the knowledge of God, spiritual knowledge, a secret knowledge of the universe and the elements. Because when you go into the Bible and you look at Exodus 34th chapter in the 19th verse, God simply says, "He who opens up the matrix is mine." In other words, he who breaks the seals and reveals the matrix was sent by him. Because that knowledge comes naturally through my DNA, through my genetics or gene pool or the genome. The scientists had to crack or break the genome open just to extract the knowledge. The knowledge was never passed down by word of mouth as they lied about. The knowledge comes through the gene pool, and if you look at the story about Henrietta Lack is where they used this woman's genes to create all kinds of inventions, and they've used her genes to create all kind of medical changes and wonders in the world, and made billions of dollars from that.
Spell that. Henry, spell that.
Henrietta Lack, L-A-C-K, Lack. That's correct, right, Ed?
It's correct. It is Henrietta Lack. That is the story. If you go to Google and you look up Henrietta Lack, you'll find much of what Ms. Stewart was referring. Also, not only were they able to come up with cultures and other biological material for healing, they also used some of that research you'll find for biological weapons as well. Very, very interesting story of Henrietta Lack.
Yeah, and you really need to understand what I'm speaking about. So what I'm saying to everyone, that knowledge is passed down through the genetics or the gene. and that we all have this phenomenal gift. We are all neos, or what you call the ones. We are the ones, and that you have to access that gift or those genes, and that you can extract your own knowledge. It's not about you going and learning from others, but what you can learn from yourself by knowing thyself, because God says, my people perish because of a lack of knowledge. And that people are destroyed simply here on the earth because of ignorance. That's right. Ignorance is the greatest killer of man, because knowledge is what brings us forth. It's what makes us prosper. It's what makes us rich. It's what makes us gain in the world. It's what makes us winners as opposed to being a failure. People are failing or failures because they are in ignorance. They are what you say, oh, you are a very ignorant person. Well, ignorance is not a bad word. No one has ever told anyone that. Ignorance is not a bad word. Ignorance is really simply stating a lack of knowledge, that you do not know something. You are poor, oppressed, suppressed, repressed, depressed, because you do not have any knowledge. And if you don't have any knowledge, then you are an ignorant person, because that's what ignorance is, a lack of knowledge. Not a bad word. And someone is very prosperous, someone is very happy, someone is very elevated because they have some knowledge that you are lacking, the knowledge that you do not have or possess. But no one has ever explained this to people. No one breaks this down. No one is speaking the way I'm speaking. All I'm simply doing is taking what's before me and reversing it back in the correct order, because God says everything that I created has a flow of order. It goes in a order. And when you see in Lot and his wife and children are running from Sodom and Gomorrah, and Sodom and Gomorrah is being destroyed, and then Lot and his children go forward, but his wife, she looks back. And what that is telling you symbolically is that her looking back is polarity. She's missing or regretting her old ways. She wants to go back to ignorance or darkness, because, see, that's already destroyed. That's already gone. So if you look back to it, something that's already gone, something that's destroyed, something that you can't even, you're dead. You're dead. And so, therefore, your mind is dead, and therefore you will not be progressive. You will not be able to progress because you're stuck in time and you're stuck in the past. And all you're talking about is the past. Have you ever met somebody and all they're talking about is the past, the past, the past?
Absolutely.
Well, that person is dead, 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 because they're not able to elevate or to move forward because they're stuck in time. And all they're talking about is that particular period of time that was either the best time of their lives or was the worst time of their lives. And they're still trying to look like that, and they're still trying to wear clothes from that time. It's the greatest. Because that's true. The one that gives the greatest service to mankind and help mankind to elevate is the greatest of all.
Indeed. Them poor righteous teachers.
That's right. It's true. It's very true, because when you look at it, anybody can take the energy of God and use it for good and elevate and move forward, or they can take it and reverse the energy and they can enslave or harm or kill or hurt or entomb their own kind. And that's why I said man is the beast, the evil, the devil that enslaves his own kind. And that he has painted this picture of energy with horns and cloven hooves, and he's created all these illusions of ignorance and lies and suppressions and oppressions of fear and ignorance in movies and everything, and it's paralyzed the whole world in ignorance and fear, where they can't even move on to go through evolution or metamorphosis into their fourth dimensional bodies, and that they have no understanding. He have taken choice away from man, because it's very important that we have this one thing, this one great thing that determines us as being human beings, even more so than love and compassion. The one thing that we have that really moves us onward and upward is choice. We have the choice to move forward or the choice to move backwards. It's either yes or no. There is nothing else going on. There are no maybe. That was another lie and label that was created to confuse and make some people not move to make a decision, to straddle the fence. But when you straddle the fence, a decision will just simply be made for you, because everything is either spiraling upwards or you're spiraling down. You're ascending upward or you're spiraling downwards. Let's look at that. When we look at the yin and the yang is the same number. When the 6 goes up, it's Venus, it's love, it's heaven. And when it goes down, it's 9, it's war, it's Mars, it's earth, it's hell. It's the same number. It goes up, it's good. You're living. You're going forward. When it goes down, you're receding or recessing. You're going down. Same number, 69. 6 and 9 is the same number.